Hi everybody, it's Peter Zalum's Griniflix Adventure and welcome to another video. Today it's going to be about the Leica, the M10 series of cameras, the M10-R, the M10-P, the M10, the M10-Monochrom and the VisoFlex 020 or Type 020. Its operation. And one of the unique things about this particular VisoFlex and for this particular M series of Leica cameras is that this one's got GPS built into it. So let's have a look at its operation and how easy it is to use the GPS and what are the peculiarities and what to look out for. Okay, so I've got my M10-R black paint version, very nice. And on particular, today the lens I've got on this is an old Leica Canada Summilux 35mm f1.4. It's a golden oldie, got one of these removable lens filter and lens shade. Well used, you can see it's quite damaged, but anyway. So that's the camera and that's the setup. So very simple process of just removing this cap here and then also removing this protector here off the VisoFlex Type 020 and then putting it on here. So then it's just turning it on. We'll put it onto live view. I've got a number of settings here, so you can have just a blank screen, or you can have these bars coming up, which then gives you an indication of what's going on. These information bars at the top and the bottom. Alright, so the thing I'm looking for is there any indication that the VisoFlex is on or off? So if I just take it off, it seems to make no difference whatsoever. But anyway, I've experimented a number of times. And what it needs to happen, as soon as you put it on, it's going to start looking for a GPS signal. But that's assuming you've actually turned on the GPS function in the menu system. And that is when you go down into the main menu and you scroll through, eventually you get to the GPS setting here. And that can be on and off. You can just toggle that on and off. So it is on. And voila, it's made a connection. You know, it's the little icon that's come up here. So it looks like a radio, camera plus a radio frequency type thing. Now, it's actually found the signal straight away. Okay, I've just had the camera off for a while and the VisoFlex also off here. And I've just put that on now and it's the camera and the GPS in the VisoFlex is now looking for a satellite signal. So you can see the icon here has changed to the camera plus a radio signal, whatever, GPS signal, and then an exclamation mark. You can see I'm still looking for the satellite there, so the icon's there. If I don't have live view on, if I just go to the info screen here, you can see that the satellite emblem also appears there, so that is grayed out if you don't have the VisoFlex, I'm pretty sure. So if we remove the VisoFlex here, then there is nothing there. When we put the VisoFlex back on, there we go, we see the VisoFlex and the little exclamation mark there showing that it's still searching for the satellites. And that will take, it could take a long time, it could take a short time. It depends on whether it's recently found those satellites. But it could take some time. When I first turned on the camera this morning to find the satellite, it took me about 10 to 15 minutes of turning the camera on and off and walking outside for it to find the satellites that are in the vicinity. But it seems to remember, because I turned off the camera and as I've just turned the camera on now, it found the satellite straight away. So if I take a shot, it's going to be blurry, what if I take a shot of the TV screen over there? Okay, Helicab Canopy Camper, and voila, so we've taken the shot. Now also, when you take the shot, you can actually see whether you've got a GPS location on it. So again, in the information bar here, when I turn it on and I'm doing the review of the photograph, you can see that the little icon is there. Now I've taken some other shots here and you can see the icon is still there, and then there's no icon, which means that there was no satellite connection at that stage, and therefore the GPS setting is not there. And we can look at the files as well, and we'll see what sort of information is being recorded, both in the file when you're just looking at it in say on your MacBook Pro or Windows system, and also when you're using, say, Lightroom, or when you actually transfer the photo on your phone. Okay, so let's just turn it on again, and we go into live view. So you can see we've lost the satellite again, and it will make a connection shortly. If you put your eye to it, then the VisoFlex comes on, and when you take your eye away from the VisoFlex, then the live screen comes on, which is its normal operation. So it's sensing when your face goes towards the VisoFlex. Alright, so at this stage it hasn't made the connection, and we'll see how long it takes. Oh, there it is, there's a connection, and that's basically what you see in the VisoFlex as well. Okay, well, let's look at what happens in Lightroom. So here's a few shots that I took yesterday. I've also done some editing on the shots. If we look at this shot here, is there any GPS information? No, there's nothing there. GPS information, none there. But then if we go down here, we have GPS information there. Here's a couple other shots. Yep, we've got the GPS information, and we've got the GPS information here as well. Alright, so we're still waiting for the camera here to make a connection with the GPS with the satellites, which it's still looking for those satellites. Alright, so is there an alternative to this? In Lightroom you can add GPS coordinates. You can copy and paste information over here, this GPS setting, because it was similar location, so I don't mind having the same location information. One way to share data is to actually just highlight one of the photos that has the GPS information, highlight another one, and then you can actually sync in Lightroom here down the bottom, and I can sync the GPS information. So I can turn that on, turn that off. I can add other information, for example copyright information, and that will be synced as well. It's going to sync the location, sub-location information. That's all that I'm concerned about right now. I can just press sync. We'll take that information that was on that one photograph on the metadata, and we'll place it onto the other photograph as well. So we've got the metadata there, we've got the sub-location information there as well. So that's one way to get GPS information onto photographs that doesn't have that information, just moving it across, sharing it from one photo location to another. Yeah, so the camera will power down automatically. So when it powers down, it also powers down the VisoFlex, and it also powers down the GPS. So then it's got to reactivate, it's got to find those satellites again. So my initial thoughts with the VisoFlex 020, type 020, great in concept as far as the GPS is concerned. But however, the practicality, if you're just taking a shot here and a shot there and then turning it off, depending on the situation, you might have troubles finding those satellites. So you could be waiting some time to get that information. Yeah. So you can see, at least when you can review your shots, you can see which ones had the satellite information, and therefore the GPS location information. Alright, well, I must admit, when I got the VisoFlex, I was wondering how the GPS operated, how easy it was to use, and how accurate and how quickly it could get the location information to see whether it was going to be useful or not. Getting information seemed to be quite difficult. Eventually I found that there was some information in the user manual, a PDF that you can find online. I'll provide some links in the description. Yes, other than that, using the VisoFlex seemed to be pretty good. It seems to be better than the one that was available for the M240. And I will do a comparison with the VisoFlex that's available for the M11 in due course. But at least this is a quick intro with regards to the GPS operation on this unit. It's still looking for the satellites. If I went outside, it would probably find the satellites sooner, I would say. But because I am inside, it's taking a bit longer to find the satellite. Okay, so is it easier just to add the GPS information in Lightroom afterwards? Well, it may well be. There you go. I hope you found this video interesting. If it's the first time to my channel, then do subscribe. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks very much for subscribing. Eventually we will find the satellites, and then the GPS will activate. Alright, until then, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.